Continue on talking about electron arrangement with energy levels, sublevels, and orbitals. Remember, this is a way to break down the energy levels and show where electrons are likely to be located. Please turn your book to page 133. And if you look at the table on 133, notice that energy levels will fill in order of increasing energy. In other words, we must put electrons in the first energy level before we can start placing electrons in the seventh energy level. So let's go back and look at the fourth energy level. That's where we're ready to continue on. If I look at the fourth energy level, I can see the fourth energy level has 4 sublevels. Those are 4s, 4p, 4d, and 4f. Now I'm going to indicate on the periodic table where elements from that are located. So if I look at the fourth energy level, I'm coming down right here, we have 4s, and I would actually need to drop down a little bit. This is 4d, here is 4p, and then right down here is 4f. And you may think, Mrs. Alexander, why did you drop down? How do you skip from 4s to 4d to 4p and then hop down here to 4f? And I'm going to explain that. I said at the beginning of the video that electrons will fill in order of the least energy, and then they will fill to higher energy levels. I need to get my computer back going on the screen. There we go. If you look on page 133, and I can see on page 133 that the 1s sublevel has the lowest energy. So if I look on my periodic table, what that means is that the electrons on any atom first need to fill the 1s sublevel. Now I'm just going to read my periodic table from left to right, and I'm going to follow along in my book on the bottom diagram where it shows the order in which sublevels fill. So the lowest energy is 1s. Next is 2s. Then electrons will fill the 2p sublevel. We're going to fill the 3s sublevel, followed by the 3p sublevel. Now look closely in your book after 3p. The next lowest energy just above 3p, here I am at 3p, is 4s. It takes less energy to put an electron in 4s than it does 3d. If I look on page 133, the next energy level to fill following 3d is 4p. After 4p is 5s. I follow along in my book. The next lowest energy following 5s is 4d, 5p, 6s, and then there's a jump. We are going to next fill 4f. Then we will go back to 6p, or excuse me, 5d, and then 6p. Now, in case you might be thinking, Mrs. Alexander, this is getting a little bit foggy to me, especially when you get down lower on the periodic table. Well, keep this in mind, class. The elements at the bottom of the table are just not very stable. We will not work with those in class. And as far as electron arrangement, because we're not working with them, we're not going to spend a lot of time on their electron arrangements. But you do need to know the order in which electrons fill their sublevels, and it's just like reading a book across the periodic table from left to right. Now, I would like you to look back up on the board and just a quick review. We didn't finish on 4D, but if I look, at the fourth energy level, there are 4 sublevels, 4s, 4p, 4d, and 4f. If we look at the number of orbitals, that makes a total of 16 orbitals, because there are 7 in the 4f orbital. Notice the 4p sublevel has 3 orbitals. The 4d sublevel has 5 orbitals, totaling 32 electrons. Now, from here on out, the 5th energy level, the 6th energy level, the 7th energy level, we do not go any further than 4 sublevels. So the maximum number of sublevels any energy level will have, at least for the elements that we know of, there will only be 4 sublevels. I hope this helps when you are understanding electron arrangement, and please write down any questions that you may have. I will leave you with this question to ponder. If I were looking for an element in the 2nd energy level, and this element had electrons in the p sublevel, so the 2p sublevel, and if this element had 3 electrons in the 2p sublevel, what do you think that element is? Pause the video, ponder it, and the answer to that question, drumroll, is nitrogen. I'll see you on the next video.